Good evening. Today's May 5th, 2025. This is a regular meeting of the Board of Directors for AGUA Special Utility District. Item 1, call to order. Roll call. Mr. Rick Perez.
Here.
Mr. Jerry Perez.
Here.
Dr. Adriana Villarreal.
Here.
Adolfo Mendez. Ana Maria Perez. Present. And Roel de Hoyos. Present. Jose Luis Ochoa. Present. We do have a quorum. Invocation.
Heavenly Father, as we gather today to conduct matters of business for our sake, may you give us your guidance, wisdom, and knowledge to make the best decisions for the ratepayers and employees. Lord, let this meeting be productive and let your peace surround us. Today, we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any public comments, Mr. Salinas?
Mr. President, members of the board, we do not have any public comments.
Okay. Item number 2, minutes. Approval of minutes for the March 10th, 2025 AGUA board meeting. Do we have a, so move? Have a motion by Mr. Perez,
Second.
second by Dr. Adriana Villarreal. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 3, general manager's report.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, we're gonna go ahead and start with March financials. And we have with us Mr. Parth Naik, finance consultant, that will summarize our March financials.
Good evening, board members. We have our March financials. We have our cash and cash equivalent that you can see, our investment and our restricted asset that reserved for the purposes, and our current and long-term liabilities. And then we go through our monthly revenue and expense report, which we are on one quartering in 2025 fiscal year. And as you are noticing, we are almost at the mark for our operating revenues. Our operating revenues are slightly 1% off the forecast, and our expenses are 3% down. And it's a usual trend for revenues that is kind of that in March, and during summer, May and June and July was one of the biggest month. So it had picked up in the past, so not any unusual trends. It's the same trend line that we have for quite some time. And since the quarter is ended, in March, we also have the March investment activity report, which show the investment earnings that we have through our several saving account at the TechStar. So do our CD and our checking accounts at the Lone Star. And the first quarter, the total earnings of the interest is listed in the second page end, which is $157,000. As Federal Reserve haven't made a big change in interest rate, we still are able to earn some good interest rate in that CDs we have, plus the CDs have a fixed rate, but the savings we have with the TechStar. Any questions?
There was a big jump in electricity part. What was that? It was, prior year was 84,000, now it's 136,000 year to date.
We do have,
There's always a thing that jumps out.
we do have changes in the electricity rate as we get into the new contract, and compared to the previous contract, it was higher rate, and that is a reflection as well. And sometimes it's a fluctuation on usage of the plant that use the equipments, and it could be also, but we will look into the detailed bill analysis to see
Sure.
how many megawatt it consume and to see if that had changes or it's just primarily the rate change. But as you are aware, our rate in a new contract it went up.
Yeah, but it just went into effect this month.
This month.
Yes,
That's
this
correct.
month, yeah.
This month, so we'll see a difference, this coming month, higher, than what we have.
But it was $50,000 more than last year, year to date.
Already, yeah.
That's not included in the new rate, the higher rate,
You're looking at the electricity item,
Yeah.
Mr. Perez?
year to date.
On the month ending of March 31st, right?
But as per our forecast, we are on to, that we forecasted the higher rate and we are on the budget. But yeah, you are right that the new rate was not taken. So we'll analyze the kilowatt users if there is any drastic change.
And that on the CDs, when do those mature?
So one of the CD, as you're aware, that matured in April 2025 and already in, March 2025. And then we had another CD that would be maturing in February 2026, I believe, which is gonna be next year. But the CD that we put on last year, it did matured last month.
And what was the new rate?
New rate is 4.20%. And the previous one was little higher, but as you know that they
Right.
fluctuate.
Thank you, sir.
Going on into item 3C, drought contingency plan. Again, as I present every board meeting, we have the Falcon Reservoir and Amistad Reservoir levels. As far as Falcon Reservoir, we have, as of today, we have 14.5% full, difference of about 2% from last month, and less than last month, 2%, and higher than a year ago by 4%. As far as Amistad Reservoir, we're at, as of today, we're at 25.5, which is less, a little bit slightly below 1 month ago, about 0.4%, and lower about 2.4% from a year ago. The average total, or the average between both of them, is at 20%, which is still higher than a threshold as far as the stage 4 drought contingency plan. So this is just for information only.
Falcon went up almost a half a point,
Falcon went
5.2 to 4.5, was in a week. Probably delayed.
15 from a week ago. A week ago it was 15.2%,
Yeah.
and it went down to 14.5%.
In a week.
Yeah, in a week, probably because of the release of water from Falcon Dam.
It's a lot of water.
Yes.
Okay.
So that rain that came down hard in March, did it make any?
It did help. It did help. As you can see, not much on Falcon Dam. If you can see, 3 months ago we were at 15.1, and a month ago we were at 16.3. So it went up about a percentage, 1.5%. And on Amistad, same, about a percent, half a percent actually, on Amistad. Went up, but then since they release water throughout the year, that affects the actual levels of the reservoirs.
Tan poquito?
Yes.
So the release of the water, what they're saying from Mexico, it won't go straight into the reservoir, it's gonna go to the river, correct? Or is it gonna go directly to the reservoirs?
Depends where the release is at. If it's from the reservoirs south that go through the river from Marte Regómez Reservoir and Cuchillo Reservoir through Rio San Juan, just northwest of Rio Grande City.
Yes.
That will not help on the reservoir levels, which of course, as we all know, was Falcon and Amistad, but they're on the upstream side. that will need to be done from another state in Mexico
Sonora.
and all those places, so they can release water through that area in order for that water to help us in our banks, which is the Amistad and Falcon reservoirs.
So the reason the water we're talking about, it could be that we're not gonna have any benefit to the reservoirs, but to the river.
Yeah, it's to the rivers. That's mostly will impact the probably the allocations for the farming,
Yeah,
for the
but-
agriculture. And so that will assist them in that. But they need to coordinate when they're going to release water in order for them to intake the water from the river
Yeah,
into
but
the farm into
The
the
sugar
farming
land in
industry.
Santa Rosa, that's already closed, so what's the difference anyway? But
So it doesn't really help us, right?
the release of the water.
Depends on where they release the water.
But we won't know. I mean, we're not gonna know. We don't know anything about that.
Well, I'm not familiar where they're gonna release the water just yet, but if they're gonna release it on the downstream
Yeah.
side of Falcon and Amistad, pues it's not going to help our banks and the thresholds as far as the reservoir levels,
So if nobody catches, it's gonna go all the way to the island, correct?
all the way to the Gulf, yes.
Oh, what can we do? Thank you, sir.
Going into item 3D, that's district's operations update. So just to let the board know, and I know some of the board directors already know, Mr. Mendez submitted a letter of resignation. So as of Friday evening, so he's no longer a board director. So we'll be taking measures in order to meet with the board and the possibility to appoint a new director for District 2 within 60 days of last Friday. Anything else, Jared, you want to add to that?
No, I think you summed it up well.
Okay.
We've got 60 days from Friday to, I mean, it can be technically up to 90 days, but generally we want to fill that vacancy within 60 days.
As of now, he's the only one right now?
Yes. That we have received a resignation.
That it?
And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Salinas. Moving on to item number 4, District Engineers Report. A, NatBank Technical Assistant Agreement Sewer Hookups.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board, we have Mr. Chris with SAMS that will be summarizing the report as far as the NatBank technical assistance here in Palmview.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, members of the board. For the NatBank Technical Assistance Agreement, the contractor is still working through punch lists. We met with them last week, kind of going over some of our concerns or going over the punch list in general. They've acknowledged it, they know what they're going to fix. So they're just kind of going through the motion of addressing our comments. No real change there. The main thing to highlight is per the contract dates and notice of to proceed for the construction of that project. They are into liquidated damages, but we made them aware of it. We're gonna have another meeting with everyone involved this coming week or next week, right?
I believe we have one meeting this week,
Right.
and we would like to invite the City of Palmview. I know that they have some concerns
Yes.
on
So
the current restore of the
Right.
payment.
Yeah,
So-
I just got an email from the mayor yesterday, so I
Yes.
just forwarded to Mr. Salinas for some of the things that they're looking at.
yeah, so
And,
I'm gonna look over the report tomorrow. Pretty much going over to see what it is that they saw that needs to be fixed. Some of the things were part of my report already, so just in making sure
Okay,
we're coinciding and
Appreciate
making sure we're looking at. Is there any other questions?
So all the sewers are connected right now?
Yes, all the sewers are connected.
The operation.
Operational, yes, sir. There was just the list of connections that I mentioned last time, where when they televised them, we saw bellies where it's not gonna be flowing. So that's part of the punch list that the contractor's working through.
and how many connections are there in total on this?
89 connections? No?
89,
89
89?
connections.
around there.
Mr. Perez, the meeting, yes, you're right, Chris, is on the 13th. I thought it was next Tuesday, this Tuesday is the following Tuesday.
Okay.
The meeting that we have with Nat Bank and the contractor
Okay.
to go over the project. But we'll invite the City of Palmview to be present.
At what time?
It's going to be at 9:30.
Okay.
9:30 on the 13th.
Any further questions on that?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, B, SH 495 Veterans Boulevard Utility Relocation and Adjustment Project.
Yes, so, Mr. President, members of the board, for the Veterans Project, as some of you who were here, we met with the City of Palmview, I believe, 2 weeks ago, to kind of give them a rundown of where everything's at with this project. We've kind of still been in the same motion, progressing through the comments from TxDOT. At this point, we're pushing to finalizing our traffic control plan to hopefully get that all wrapped up for the end of this month.
TxDOT is you're gonna give all the plans to TxDOT, or how's that gonna work?
Yes, we'll give them all to TxDOT. They reviewed the plan set, and so they provided their comments to us. Part of those comments was some new improvement, or for where we're working outside of their limits, we need to guide that traffic. And so that's kind of what we're working through now, and yes, they're gonna, once we're done, we'll send it to them. They give us a thumbs up, and they'll include it with their plan set.
Are you gonna, before you give it to TxDOT, you gonna get with Palmview to make sure they're agree and on all the manholes and everything, all the properties that are vacant, that are large tracts?
Yes, we had a
Yeah.
meeting with them, a joint committee meeting with the City of Palmview.
Uh-huh.
We addressed some of those issues that or we went over the connections that we're gonna have specifically at the vacant lots and the intersections, so that we can have a stub out crossing the road, the future road widening
Sure.
from TxDOT. So those are some of the items that we included. Now, just to note that the City of Palmview will not participate on the fire hydrants.
Right.
The 20 fire hydrants that
Oh, they don't want to?
they don't want to, so we're just gonna replace the existing, if there's an existing fire hydrant, we're gonna replace that fire hydrant.
Okay.
So that's what we agree at the meeting.
Probably a developer would come and he's gonna have to put those in the
The-
large tracts.
Pretty
Yes.
much, for wherever there's vacant, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
And we have the exhibits in the back,
Yeah.
Mr. President. We left.
It would have been very cheap to put them now than
Yes.
to go back.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I think they do want to, but they don't have it budgeted, so
Yeah.
I think that's one of the problems that they're having, so.
yeah, pretty much that's what it came down to,
Yeah.
is the timing of when they found out versus their budgeting. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, moving on. 4C, short-term water plant and CIP update.
Yes, so for the short-term water plan and CIP update, we kind of progressed and established a plan of action as far as what are the projects that will get the district the most water the fastest to the low pressure areas. We established that plan of action, met with AGUA, or with Robert, and kind of went over it. And we kind of already started drafting up for the revision to the report, so we should be completing that probably within next month, or this month, I mean.
All right. Any questions on that?
That's
Okay.
like boosters of it.
More so looping the system. So the ones we're looking into more so we're pushing some lines more west towards the area that we have low pressure at right now, to make sure we have two different or multiple point sources of water instead of just north and south. We want to get some in the middle.
Okay. 4D, alternative capacity requirement.
Yes, so for the alternative capacity requirement, we're just kind of kicking off this project, so, you know, we've already met with AGUA, with Robert, and we already established, the information that we're gonna need, we know our plan of action, and this one is gonna go hand in hand with the previous project, the short-term water plan. We're gonna work hand in hand with both of those to make sure we, you know, can get the district as much meters available with a balance to not give up too much water, but get more meters coming in. But mostly we just kind of started setting up this project.
Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. 4E, Geographic Information System, GIS Services Phase 2.
Yes, Mr. President, members of the board, so for the GIS Phase 2, we already kicked off this past month. So with this past month, we finished 8 of the subdivisions, part of this phase of the project. I think there's a total of 17. So we'll be finishing out, we finish out these 8. This month we're gonna do 4. Next month we'll finish out all of the subdivisions. After that, we'll get into the sewer. That's towards the west, towards Sullivan and all that area, which is a project that we were familiar with last year, for the board members already here. So now we're just continuing along that line of whatever's remaining to catch up the GIS system. So there's, on the report, you'll see a list of which subdivisions were completed, and all of them are gonna be uploaded to the system as we progress.
All this subdivision coming in, are you putting those as we get them,
Those are,
the new ones?
those are coming in, cause right now we're at around 2021. So we're back in 2021 trying to catch up to now. So we're working from the oldest to the newest.
But the new ones that are coming in, you're not doing those ones?
No.
Until they come up.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, once it comes to, we'll see. We'll see how we approach it.
You said 21?
We're in 20, from what I remember, I think we're in 21. Yes, sir.
22, yes.
21, 22 range, yeah.
It's a, man, I'm not an engineer, but it just takes a slow process, or how?
No, we can,
It's as budget permits.
yeah, as budget permits.
Oh, let them do it.
As budget
We need to
permits.
know where
Yeah,
the lines are.
This is phase 2, so we started catching up from 2019,
2018.
2018.
Or
From
especially
2018.
the new subdivision that are coming up, you know, those ones are fresh in everybody's mind, and,
Mhm. Yeah.
and you got your plans in front of you, and you can do all of that, instead of
Yeah.
going back.
Oh, yeah. No, we definitely could. The subdivisions are, thankfully, a pretty streamlined process at this point for us. So, like I said, we finished 8 this month, or this past month. This month we're gonna do 4 that are bigger, you know, like 100 lots. Those take us a little bit more time, but still very doable. And so it doesn't take too much time, like Robert mentioned, it's more of a budget constraint.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Item number 5, presentation and discussion of AGUA SUD 2024 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report and Audit as presented by Ms. Esmeralda Iniguez, Carr, Riggs, and Ingram LLC.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board, here with us we have, of course, Ms. Esmeralda Iniguez with Carr, Riggs, and Ingram that will be presenting the 2024 Annual Comprehensive Audit.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of the board and attendees. I'm Esmeralda Iniguez from Carr, Riggs, and Ingram. I'm the partner on this engagement, and with me is Carla Gomez. She's the audit manager that led the engagement team in conducting the audit for AGUA SUD for their fiscal year ended December 31, 2024. My understanding is that you received a draft of the report in your agenda. The final copy that you have right now has not changed significantly. So on page 1 is where we are presenting our opinion, which represents that the financial statements of AGUA SUD are fairly stated in all material respects. We are not reporting any type of emphasis of matter paragraph, so it's basically an unmodified opinion, which is the highest level of opinion available in this type of audit. This year, we also audited the federal grants for AGUA SUD. In this case, this year, it is the funding received through NatBank for the connections. A total of $1.9 million were subject to audit for the fiscal year ending December 2024. And we are reporting 2 sets of opinions related to those procedures. Also unmodified opinions on both reports.
What page is that now, the opinions?
The opinions, well, there's a summary in page 108. And the actual reports are right before that, but this page summarizes our findings.
Your findings,
Yes. So in the first section, we audit the internal controls over the financial statements, and we would typically report any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies, as well as material noncompliance. We did not note any of those findings. In the second half is specific to compliance requirements for the grant that was audited. We're also reporting an unmodified opinion, and we did not note any material weaknesses, significant deficiencies, or noncompliance related to to the congressional mandated projects, which is the funding received through NatBank. Now at this point, I'm gonna turn it over to Carla so she can walk us through the financial statements. So,
Okay, so I'm gonna start on page 16. On page 16, you will see the statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in net position. So this statement has the activity for the fiscal year 2024. And you can see toward the top, you have total operating revenues of $14,122,230. Toward the middle of the page, you will see total operating expenses in the year were $14,587,705. So the total operating income, the difference between the revenues and expenses, were a loss of $465,475. After that, we also present another category that is called non-operating revenues and expenses. The biggest items in here you can see were interest expense because of your bonds, notes that you have. So you can see in there total interest expense of $1.2 million. The other big item on that category is the non-capitalized grant expenses of $1.9 million. Those were related to the grant. Those were the expenses for the grant. So in total, non-operating revenues and expenses equals to a total expense of $2,290,096. Then down below, there's another category that the district present as a grants and capital contributions. This includes the grant revenues. It includes the developer contributions to system and fees, and water and sewer impact fees. The total amount in there were a positive revenues of $3,212,182. So if you add all the items together, at the end, the total change was a positive net position change of $456,611. So that increased your net position, your beginning net position of the year, and ended up the net position at the end of the year as of $104,609,284. So it increased from last year net position. If you turn one page before, page 15, this includes the statement of net position, and it includes what basically has your net position at the end of the year, the amount that I was talking about, the $104,609,284. The majority of it is net investment in capital asset. That's your capital asset netted with your liabilities, long-term liabilities. Then there's a couple of items that are restricted for debt service, for capital improvement, and the net pension asset. And the remaining of the net position is the unrestricted net position, which is normally what is used for your operating. The total unrestricted were $1,836,498. So those are the highlights on the operations of the district in the year. I don't know if you have any questions.
The depreciation, how long do we keep it every year? How long are we gonna depreciate in those items?
Yes.
$5 million.
Yeah, so it has increased, I will say, in the last maybe 2 years after the completion of the Palmview sewer. So yeah, because it's kind of recent, that project, your depreciation is still high. So
there's a note disclosure that kind of describes the breakdown of the category of the assets that are included there in depreciation, so you have an idea.
What page is that now?
That would be page 28. So there's towards the bottom of that page, there's accumulated depreciation, and it's showing how much is being has increased during this year, and the decreases and the ending balances.
And you can see in there the majority of the depreciation is on the utility plant infrastructure, which is your plants and
your recent ones, right?
So on 16 on the operating income loss, it's 465,000 475, that was the operating income loss for this year, correct?
Yes, yes.
So had we had more, so we're,
Including
$5
depreciation.
million.
oh,
Including the depreciation
Yeah.
number itself.
okay. Including the,
Yes.
Yes, it is.
alright. I'm just saying, we probably could get more sewer projects or more sewer services, maybe we can offset the difference here.
Yeah, but if we take that out, we'll, but,
Okay,
Right.
no, but we need to put it.
okay, I got you then. Sorry.
There's also good, I will say tables on page 8 and 9. That's the management discussion and analysis. On that one, you can see the comparison with last year. So you can see, I don't know, revenues of this year compared to last year, operating expenses this year compared to last year. So you can see, on page 9, you can see the revenues and expenses.
On the federal side, as far as that bank, is there anything from the federal side that's coming up that we need to, I guess, listen to, or any new guidance that there is might be on funding on the federal side? I know the federal people are
Right.
going around with so many guidance that are changing
Yeah.
everything. Is there anything out there that can,
What affects the most is new grants
okay,
coming up. Those are the ones that are getting chopped, or, there's changes. So what AGUA currently has, pre-existing grants, we haven't seen an impact to those.
Okay.
Yeah.
so anything coming new from now on that would be the difference?
Right, right.
Okay.
Well, so as a result of our procedures, there were a few adjustments, proposed audit adjustments. So those, there's a second half of this report. There's a tab called report. So in that one, it includes the required communications. This is an internal document for the board of directors and management. So on page 14, we have the few proposed adjustments. These have already been accepted by management, and they're already reflected on the financial statements. And as a result of these adjustments and other items, we did have, even though we did not have material weaknesses or significant deficiencies to report, we did have a few items that we consider to be improvement points or control deficiencies that management can continue to work on to make sure they continue their improvements year after year. And we discussed this in detail with management last week during our exit meeting. So
So it's all journal entries, correct?
yes.
So in Peñitas and in Sullivan City, what was the journal entries deficiency, or was it the?
It was an error. Instead of recording the payment to the entity, they recorded to the incorrect municipality.
But it was all had to do with journal entries then. I mean, that's all.
Well, it was adjusted. Yeah,
Yeah.
the payment was correct. It was the adjustment on the books that was incorrect. So it was adjusted to correct the right balance.
I'm just seeing here, how, the employees can carry vacation and sick leave, how many days, hours? Page 22, maybe it's not a question to ask here, but
That's a good question.
do they carry over every year until the year?
So
It depends on the years of service.
the sick leave is, until you are employed with the district, you can carry the sick leave. But if you leave the district, you will lose those
Yeah,
sick
but,
leave.
does it stop
Vacation,
after how
I'm
many days, or you can, somebody never gets sick, like Ramiro never gets, well, he's sick, but he's been here 30, 40 years. Do you carry over, or? I'm
You
just reading
carry
the
over,
carry
but you don't get paid the sick leave if you retire as per current district
I
policy.
know, but how many days can you,
It's 8 hours per month. On
Yes.
sick leave, it's 8 hours per
But
month.
there's no max,
There's no-
right?
there's no-
Yeah.
No
Okay.
sick leave? No.
so they can carry just,
Yeah.
keep
Sick
it
leave
in,
hours,
yes.
yes.
And vacations too.
And vacations, it depends on the years of service. We have a little summary on page 22 toward the bottom.
Yeah, I'm reading that.
So it says in there how many hours per month depending on the years of service of the employees.
Employee does get paid vacation balance if employee leave the district.
Just cut my, I'm gonna take it and read it. Thank you for the report.
Yes, well, and lastly, I think congratulations are in order because AGUA does put together an annual comprehensive financial report versus just a regular annual report. So they did receive the certificate of excellence in reporting from the GFOA. That's included in Roman numeral 9, the beginning of the report. So as part of our procedures, we also check there's a checklist to ensure that all the parts required by GFOA are included in the report. So they should be complying with this award once again for 2024.
Very good.
And can I ask their services, they get a PO for their services, how much do they charge for the services?
For the what?
For the audit services?
See, their contract is not up.
No, but it's a monthly or a yearly fee.
No, it's a yearly,
Yes.
It's a yearly fee, yes, sir.
yearly,
Okay.
but it's not.
He wants
up
to
yet.
know how much.
All the amount?
But y'all get a PO for that and get something for your services, you get a PO and then
Oh,
get
yes,
paid.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, we go through we went through the
RFQ.
RFQ process.
Okay,
And we selected the vendor.
It was 2 years or what, how much was the contract?
It was a 2-year.
A 2-year.
And then we extended it for another year, if I'm not mistaken, a year, 2 years, yeah, I don't recall, I need to go back, but it was extended, yes.
and it was budgeted for that and.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
just asking, I had some other experience before.
I just don't recall we extended 1 year or 2 years, but we brought it back to the board, yes.
Yeah, and it's a pretty reputable firm, so it's a good firm.
Thank you.
Good
Any
job,
other
thank you.
questions? No?
No? Any
Thank
other
you very
questions?
much.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say that that we want to thank the general manager board for the guidance, and in a finance department we had a big turnover last year, as you all know, as a senior accountant and finance director left, but I want to thank here the staff accountant Carla and Lily, I don't know if she's in audience, and the whole AWASA staff. Albert is present here, Pam, Cindy, everyone, and
Good
Jim,
job.
that they provide backup in very timely manner. Otherwise, with this kind of turnover, we wouldn't have finished in deadline. So thank you, everyone.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Okay. Moving on to item number 6. Discussion and possible action on accepting and approving the AGUA 2024 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report and Audit as presented by Ms. Esmeralda Inguez, Carr, Riggs, and Ingram LLC.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Rick Perez and a second by Mr. Jerry Perez. Do we have all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to item number 7. Discussion and possible action on the amendment of a non-standard service agreement for water to be submitted to Mr. Oscar Santos for the cost related to water and service for Carizales subdivision number 3.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board, on this item number 7, it's a handout. And of course, we have Mr. Chris with SAMS that will go over the subdivisions, the NSSAs that we have for this meeting.
Mr. President, members of the board, so the Carizales number 3 subdivision was previously approved back in 2022. So this was brought before the board once again for an amendment due to the offsite requirements for the subdivision specifying an 8-inch line when the CIP for the district specified that line was to be a 12-inch. So we're amending this SIR to specify a 12-inch line is required for offsite improvements. And to kind of briefly go over where the subdivision is, this is in City Missions ETJ. It's located on the west side of Iowa, roughly 1,000 feet south of Mile 5. It's a 24-acre subdivision, more or less, and it's going to be turning into a 36 lot residential subdivision.
It's a 1 inch converted into 3/4, right? The meter.
No, it's the offsite. So they needed to bring a water line from 5 miles south.
But it says 36, 1 inch converted into 3/4 inch water meter.
Oh, well, that's just the general service.
Yeah.
The service line will be 1
In case
inch.
they want a 1 inch, they can upgrade to 1 inch.
Yeah, that can be done. But typically for the residential, they just need a 3/4.
And it's in the Mission ETJ?
Mission ETJ, yes, sir.
So it's for planning and zoning areas, that's been addressed already with Mission, or?
Yeah, that's been
This is
addressed.
in Iowa, right?
This is on Iowa, yes, sir. So it's the same, last month, if y'all recall, we had Las Comadres 15 and 16.
Okay.
That were also in that same area.
So move.
I have a
Second.
motion by Mr. Pettis,
Second.
second by Dr. Adela Villarreal. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 8, discussion and possible action on a non-standard service agreement for water to be submitted to 3F Developers LLC for the cost related to water and service for Salida del Sol Estates Phase 9 subdivision.
Yes, Mr. President, members of the board. So for the Salida del Sol Estates Phase 9, this is a subdivision located in La Joya city limits, more specifically about 5,000 feet south of 7 Mile Road at the end of El Polvorín Drive. This is a 2-acre subdivision comprised of 3 residential lots. It has no offsite improvements, water line has been provided, and it has passed. We recommend approval.
So move.
A second.
I have a motion by Mr. Rick Pettis, a second by Mr. Jerry Pettis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Right?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 9, item number 9, discussion and possible action on a non-standard service agreement for water to be submitted to Matermi LLC for the costs related to water and service for Maluz 3 subdivision.
Yes, Mr. President, members of the board, for Maluz 3, this is a subdivision located in Mission ETJ. It's on the north side of Mile 6 Road, approximately 1,500 feet east of Western Road. It's a 4.5-acre subdivision, more or less, comprised of, or going to be turned into a 4-lot residential subdivision. Water model has been done, and pressure is sufficient for the subdivision, and no outside improvements are required.
Okay, do you have a motion?
So move.
Second?
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mr. Rick Pettis, a second by Mr. Jerry Pettis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Right?
All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 10, discussion and possible action on a non-standard service agreement for water to be submitted to Everett Enterprises, Inc., Incorporated, for the cost related to water and service for Los Naranjos Estate subdivision.
Yes, Mr. President, members of the board, for the Los Naranjos Estate subdivision, this subdivision is located in La Joya city limits, more specifically in the southeast corner of Texan and West Mile 5. It's a 16-acre subdivision, going to be divided up into a 21-lot residential subdivision. Water model has been run, and again, sufficient pressure and no outside improvements are required.
Okay, do you have a motion?
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Pettis,
Second.
a second by Dr. Adela Villarreal. All those in favor?
Aye. And
Any
they're,
opposed?
they're La Joya city limits?
There is no city limits, yes, sir.
I thought 2 right now.
No, La Joya, not, La Joya. It's not-
Yeah.
It's in the city limit of La Joya?
No,
No.
it's not in the city limit of the Joya.
No.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
It's in the rule,
Yeah,
no,
that's
it's
in
in
the
the
rule.
rule.
All right,
See,
motion,
it's just
motion,
for- yeah.
motion passes.
No, no, that's too far.
I was taking over,
It's a different item.
All right, item number 11.
Sorry.
Yeah. Item number 11, discussion of possible action on a non-standard service agreement for water to be submitted to Stella Energy Solutions LLC for the cost related to water and service for Palmview Best subdivision.
Yes, so for the Palmview Best subdivision, this is located within Palmview city limits. It's a 2-lot, 1 lot being a zone for multifamily residential, the other lot being zoned, or their purpose for that one's gonna be a battery pad site, just for their, whatever they're gonna be doing for their energy purposes. It's 4 acres in total, water model was run, there's no outside improvements needed, and they have sufficient water pressure.
Okay, do you have a motion?
I so move.
Motion by Mr. Jerry Pettis, a second by Mr. Rick Pettis. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Item number 12, discussion and possible action on award of bid to lowest responsible bidder for the Abram Water Treatment Plant filter rehabilitation.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board, we solicit, for bids to, rehabilitate the Abram plant, filter number 3. As you may recall, some of the board members, we had to replace, through an emergency meeting, one of the filters, here at the plant. So at this time, what we have proposed to the board through our budget meetings is to start replacing one filter per year. So at this time, we're gonna be replacing filter number 3 for the rehabilitation project. We received one bid for this project for a total of $64,025, and this is again to replace filter number 3 here at the Abram water treatment plant. We recommend to award the bid to JMJ Contractors, which was the sole responsible bidder for this project.
Last time it was what? It was $40,000, right?
It was 40, if I may recall correctly, Mr. Mayor, it was around $47,000.
That was an emergency, so they went up 64?
It went up, yes, because of the materials. Now, if you will see the bid items, we have specifically item number 2, 3, and 4. In case those replacements are needed, as far as the gaskets, the under drain lateral repairs, and also some of the floor repairs, that will be discovered once we start removing all the sand and the anthracite as part of the filter. If those are needed, then we already have it part of the project. But in reality, the actual bulk of the project is $55,000. But we have those add-ons just in case. Once we remove the anthracite, we need to replace
We got
gaskets.
one more to go?
Yes,
We got another filter?
we have 2 more to go.
2 more to go.
Yes,
Because we
this
got
will be
4.
the second one. Yes, sir. There's 4.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Pettis, second by Mr. Jerry Pettis. Any, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 13, discussion and possible action on award of bid to lowest responsible bidder for materials for the water line extension on Mile 3 Road, subject to full execution of water service main line contribution agreement.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board, as you may recall, in the last board meeting, we solicited for bids to do an extension on 3 Mile line. So this project is tied down to the next item number
14.
14. We did receive 3 bidders for this project. On the attachment, we have AGUA Works at $257,819.39. We have Core and Main at $276,172.94, and we have Ferguson at $290,549.07. We do recommend, and again, as the item is stated, subject to the full execution of the next agenda item, which is the next agreement that we have. So we do recommend approval or award bid to AGUA Works in the amount of $257,819.39. And again, all this will be subject to the full execution of the water service mainline contribution agreement here on the next item.
On 22, where it says 5,400 quantity, what's that, 5,400, whatever it is quantity, correct?
5,400, yes, sir, and that column was deleted, but yes, that's a 12-inch PVC DR18 C900 pipe, so it's 5,400 linear feet total.
For $35.29, correct?
For $35.29.
The other people have it 37, then the other at 39. Are we talking about the same material, the same
Yes.
5,400?
Yes. Yes, everything is the same.
All right.
Yes, sir. Everything is the same, and we do have, well, I don't have it as a handout, but yes, we have the bid proposals here in hand, just in case, but yes.
No
That
tariffs on
column
them.
was deleted, but yes, everybody bidded on the same items.
No tariffs on them, huh?
Not this time.
AGUA Works, is that a local company?
AGUA Works, if I'm mistaken, they're out of Harlingen area. But yes, they do submit bids as far as materials, as well as Ferguson, HD, Water Supply, and all of the local vendors, including Core and Main as well.
Did the contractors that are gonna be putting in the line, did they inspect the quality of the materials?
The quality of the materials as per AGUA substandards. That's what we use for valves, water lines,
Because they're gonna
et
be
cetera.
putting it in, we don't want going back to the May, you did
Yes.
you're working that is not as quality as we expected,
That is correct.
based on the material, but it's our material.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I've known Ferguson, I've heard about Ferguson, I haven't heard anything about Core, Maine, or Iowa Works, so, I mean, as long as,
Yes. They're usual vendors that we purchase
okay,
water line material from them on a yearly basis, but we go through the
Bible. I mean-
yes, through either through the bid
Bids.
process or quotation depending on the amount.
okay, no problem. So your motion?
Okay, so I need a motion.
That's a vote.
Motion by Mr. Jerry Pettis, second. By, Mr. Rick Pettis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 14, discussion and possible action on approval of water service main, contribution agreement with Peña Chapa Development Incorporated, Real Solutions LP, and 3F Ranch LLC.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board. Again, this item is tied into the water line materials on the previous item. And of course, this is the agreement that basically, on a summary, it allows the developers, the three developers that you just mentioned, Peña Chapa Development, Real Solutions LP, and 3F Ranch LLC, to work together in order for them to supply the labor and equipment to install the 12-inch line that we just talked about, which is approximately 5,400 linear feet of a 12-inch line. On this, Jern, I'm not sure if you want to jump in and talk about the agreement.
This agreement, who wrote it? Did the developers wrote it, or?
Yes, so this is, primarily what it does is, this is going to be a, contribution agreement where the district is going to, on the prior item, provide materials. The three developers will be responsible for the development of the line, labor of the line, and to the extent that they pay for the labor in the construction, they'll have the right to contribution in the form of reimbursement should any future development occur adjacent to that line.
Did they sign off on this agreement? Did you go over with them?
We need to
The
approve
developers?
it, we need to approve it by the board before it gets signed by the.
But the developers, did
We
they go over?
had prior meetings, committee meetings. Some of the board directors were present, and we talked about how can AGUA and the developers come into an agreement, and the agreement was for the AGUA.
So the developers are
Special
gonna
Utility
review, after
District.
we approve it, they're gonna review and they might disagree or agree with this agreement,
That is correct. They can. At some point.
okay? So move.
So as far as the return on investment will be further down the road, whether they need to be tapped in to a system, correct? I mean, that's gonna be the return investment.
That's right. So the reimbursement or the right to reimbursement is governed by our rules and also the reimbursement provisions in the agreement. If no one connects to that line, if the land adjacent to it isn't developed, then there won't be any reimbursement. But if within the next 10 years someone does develop and tap into that line that they're constructing, then they'll have a
forking out $257,819, the value, in terms of their value, would it be, I'm sure, a lot more than this, correct? I mean, how much would the whole project cost in terms of
Just
labor and
I'm
material?
gonna talk a lot, but basically our rule of thumb will be like 40, 60, 50, 50 materials, 50% materials, 50% labor. So the original estimate, if I'm not mistaken, was approximately 600,000. I'm gonna say maybe it's a 50, 50, 40,
Okay.
60, depending on the bidder, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Depending on the bidder.
Okay.
Yeah, but that will be, so our provision of, materials will not be included in the overall, contract amount, right? So we're providing this because we receive the benefit of having the line.
Sure.
They will not be, the material costs, will not go into the amount that they would receive, reimbursement from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
There's another line from,
probably be the remainder, maybe equal to or slightly more, than the material cost, and how they go about paying for the labor and construction of the line will determine their contribution ratio, right, to which they are entitled to any potential future reimbursement payment.
yeah, there's another line from, Tom Gill to, Mr. Flores, Mario's gonna be billed. Can he, there's any agreement on that, he can get reimbursed from Liberty all the way to Tom Gill? He's gonna be cutting across
Liberty all the way to
about 2,000 feet, right, Mario?
2,000 feet. That's not part of this this contribution.
I know it's
All
not,
right.
but can he get reimbursed?
It's not part of the CIP. I think on that probably has to be a different, because that one is just, if I'm not mistaken, is just allocated based on the engineer's review and the water model. That's just in effect to that particular subdivision, not the other two subdivisions. And this line affects
Yeah.
immediately all three subdivisions. So I think that can be looked at a different meeting. For this meeting is just
Okay.
that link, the missing link on 3 Mile Line. Which
How much is
that's
it?
what I call
3,000 feet? 3,000 feet?
5,400.
5,400 feet.
5,300, 5,400.
A mile.
Yes, about a mile.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Rick Pettis,
Second.
a second by Mr. Jerry Pettis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Good luck on the project.
Item number 15, discussion and possible action on award of liquid aluminum sulfate blend for Agua Sud water treatment chemicals to lowest most responsible bidder.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board, we did receive one bid response for this chemical. We recommend to award bid to the sole responsible bidder, Chemtray, at $0.177 per pound for an overall yearly estimate of $531,000. This is what we spend on this chemical for all the plants.
From last year,
That we
stayed the
have.
same, went up a little bit?
That's a very good question. I don't have
He's,
that amount, but
he's over.
the actual amount where we estimate the total volume that we're gonna be using is based off of last year's amount. And last year's amount, I don't have it in pounds or in tons,
Cost-
but
cost-
the cost estimate was 541,000.
Cost per pound, you don't have that right now.
Cost per, okay, so the cost per pound is on the same tabulation. If you looked at the 2024 cost per pound towards the last columns
.16.
of the bid, it was .169.
Yeah, went up a little bit.
And we had an estimate of 507, but it depends throughout the year, the need, how much we
Right.
need. Well, last year we did spend 541,000, so it's just an estimate amount, depending if we're in drought or we're in, it's a rainy season.
Right.
One of the things I've noticed in some of the items here is there's no bid, only one person bid. Is it okay as far as that? I mean, I know you send out for bid, nobody responds, but
Nobody
I guess for compliance purposes, Mr. Council, I guess it's okay. I mean, at the last thing, we don't want anybody to be complaining that nobody bids, why don't you wait for another term to get people bid on it, so.
I just want to note, Mr. Rose has
Came in.
arrived to the meeting at 7:04.
That's a question, Jerry, in reference to.
To the
I mean,
bidding process,
so-
I mean, that's
so
okay.
We go through the advertisement process,
I mean, if we only get one response, you know, that, our job is to make, you know, advertise and allow companies the opportunity, and, if only one company does so, we can either, you know, select that, that one bidder or advertise again, but, you know, unfortunately can't force
True.
anyone.
Well, I'm just talking in the sake of auditing purposes, you know how they are sometimes. Well, you didn't audit, you didn't submit it again, and they want at least 2 or 3 or more, but I get it. If they don't want to bid, they don't want to bid, we'll go with that, you know, so. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, do you have a motion? A motion by Mr. Rick Pettis,
Second.
second by Dr. Adriana Villarreal. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion passes. Item number 16, discussing a possible action on award of liquid ammonium sulfate for Iowa Sud water treatment chemicals to Lowe's most responsible bidder.
yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board, on this chemical, we did receive, 2 bid responses. As we can see on the bid tabulation, we recommend to award, the bid to the lowest responsible bidder being Chemtrade, in the amount of, $0.143 or cents, per pound, for an estimated yearly amount of $71,500.
Went down. This one went down from last year.
This one went down from last year, yes, sir.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Rick Pettis, a second by, Mr. De Hoyos. All those in favor?
Right.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 17, discussion and possible action authorizing the general manager to purchase 4 rotary blowers through Environmental Treatment Technologies LLC as a sole source provider.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board, we are, seeking to purchase, 4 blowers, and, 2 are to be installed in the Abram plant and 2 are to be installed in the 492 plant. We did took this, budget amount, during the budget process, towards the end of the year in December, and it was approved as a maintenance, improvement. So we're seeking to replace, those blowers through, Environmental, Technologies LLC at the amount of $104,323 for the 4 blowers.
I see it's a sole source, wow.
Yeah, sole source. For that amount, basically, we're replacing the same. It's Environmental Treatment Technologies LLC.
How long does blowers last?
Well, they have been there for the existing, for example, for the Abram plant, they have been there in existence since it was.
2010?
It was built, yes, sir, 2010. On the other one, I don't have the exact date when it was replaced, but I think they have been replaced at least once in the life of the plant.
When they go out, huh?
If they go out, yes.
But it's a
We
sole
don't want them
source,
to go.
it's a sole source, we have to buy it from them anyway, so you don't have a choice.
Okay, do you have a motion?
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Doyle,
Second.
second by Mr. Jerry Pettis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 18, discussion and possible action authorizing general manager to negotiate the water supply contract and the water delivery contract between Iowa Sud and Hidalgo County Irrigation Number 6.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board, basically, again, as stated on the agenda item, we are required this year to start the negotiation process for the water supply contract and the water delivery contract between Agua Sud and Hidalgo County Irrigation District Number 6, which supplies the water, of course, to these 2 plants, the Abram plant and the 492 plant. We have a handout. It's item number 18. It's on a handout. But basically, we attach the existing 2 contracts, and by the contract, we need to start negotiating 120 days before the actual deadline, so that we can enter into a negotiations with Irrigation District number 6. So we have till October 31st, 2025, so that we can reach an agreement. And of course, the agreements will be executed beginning in January 1st, 2026. So this contract, the existing contract, will carry us through December 31st, 2025, and we'll work the next contract for the next, again, the next 5 years, to reserve the quantity of acre feet that we need throughout those years. And of course, it'll increase as we go through the years. So attached is just the existing contracts that we have, and we're just asking to begin the negotiations, and then we'll bring it back.
We don't know the price.
We don't know the price. We're gonna negotiate. So basically, I'm just asking permission to begin the negotiation process so that we can have negotiated these two contracts by the end of October of this year, in order to begin with the new contract or agreement
Could be going
beginning
up
of next year.
$1.50 per year.
And if there's no negotiation worked out, what's gonna happen?
No, I think we'll come into
There's no water.
a negotiation. Yes,
I know, like, we have to negotiate regardless.
we have to negotiate.
Sí. Es que los australianos del suelo.
All right, do I have a motion?
So move.
I have a motion by Dr. Adela Villarreal, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Rick Villarreal. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Mr. Rick Perez, excuse me. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Yeah, me the mayor.
Item number 19, discussion and possible action on the approval of the interlocal emergency water service agreement between City of Mission and AGUA Special Utility District.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, members of the board, this item basically entails the agreement that we want to have with the City of Mission for the interconnect that we have with the City of Mission along 2 Mile Line between Inspiration and Moorfield Road. That interconnect, it's an existing interconnect. However, it was partially put offline because of the winding of 2 Mile Line maybe 5 years ago, approximately 5-6 years ago. We put it back together last year, so now it's online, it's connected, and the interconnect it's in existence with the meter. So we have been in conversation. I know we took it to the committee as well, and we have been in conversation with the City of Mission. So we came into an agreement as far as that interconnect, putting it back to service, and at this time will be on an as-needed basis, on an emergency basis. So if we need the water from the City of Mission, we can go ahead and use that interconnect. And we're looking at $2.50 per 1,000 gallons. That's basically the rate that we're gonna be receiving from the City of Mission. And this
That's an 8-inch?
that's 12-inch on our side, 12-inch on our side, yes, sir.
Yeah, on their side?
And I just want to point out, I believe the draft that you have in the packet, it does appear to be a slightly outdated one. We've made a few minor language changes to it, nothing substantive, just noting that this is a existing long-standing interconnection and not a new interconnection. So the only thing that's new here is the interlocal agreement for emergency water service, but not with the interconnection. So
I think it says 8-inch here, Robert.
It says 8-inch, you know, it's a 12-inch. The one that we put back online, it's a 12-inch over by 2 Mile Line and Moorfield on our side. Okay.
And so the interlocal that we're recommending for approval will have it's revised with those corrections and changes, but the substantive issue of the rate being the $2.50 per kcal is correct in both.
And this apply everything on Awasat, every customer for Awasat?
No, well,
It's a flat rate,
No, but for emergency purposes, but what
this
that,
for emergency purposes, no, for the whole system, no, it won't,
No, once,
no, it's just on an assignated basis and basically it'll
help out the
assist
system.
the Palmview, mostly the Palmview, city limits area
okay,
and partial of the rural area as well.
okay,
But it's just a one connection
okay.
to supply water and Mr. Perez is correct, it's a 12-inch line, but it reduces to an 8-inch line after, Moorfield Road, so
Okay.
everything converts into an 8-inch line. It's just the connection that it's a 12.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by, Mr. Ricardo Perez, a second by, a motion by, Dr. Adriana Villarreal, a second by Mr. Rick Perez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 20, discussion and possible action approval of agreements for professional services for the Liberty Road Phase 2 water line relocation.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board, on this project, we're seeking to enter into a professional agreement with South Texas Infrastructure Group in the amount of $44,569 with 77 cents. And basically, the county is bidding out a project between 3 Mile Line and 7 Mile Line along Liberty Road, and we have a conflict with one of our 12-inch water lines. So basically, what we're doing, we're relocating that line into the proximities of the west right-of-way of the roadway, and basically it's approximately 4,200 linear feet that we'll be relocating of a 12-inch line. And South Texas Infrastructure Group is part of the RFQ rotation list for engineers. And South Texas Infrastructure Group, just as a note, had worked on that project as far as the survey with LNG. So if you note on the proposal, there's no charge for, or there's no fees for survey because the survey had already been done.
Sure, it benefits the
Yes.
company. So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Rick Perez. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. De Hoyos. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 21, discussion and possible action to approve work authorization number 4 with SAMS Incorporated for CCN expansion.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board. This one is also a handout. It was put in your packet. We, as you may recall, the board authorized me to seek the CCN expansion northwest of City of La Jolla. So within this conversation that the board the board authorized me to move forward on this, we asked Sam to provide us with services, and we're looking as far as the services for the CCN expansion. This location, we're looking at $16,800. And basically, this is just as a follow-up from the direction that the board gave us. So we have SAMs that will be working.
You're gonna go all the way to 490 or where?
Well,
What's
we're trying to at least go to mile 14 or more. That's the directive.
14.
From the board. 14.
So move.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Rick Perez,
Second.
a second by Mr. De Hoyos. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 22, discussion and possible action to authorize general manager to apply for grant funding for the interconnect between the City of McAllen North Water Treatment Plant and AGUA Special Utility District water system.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board. As you may recall, we have been in conversations with the City of McAllen for them to provide water via a pipeline, either through the City of Mission or by itself. I met with SAM's engineering and looking into some of the grants that might be available through the U.S. Economic Development Administration. We're seeking to gave us an opportunity to apply for this grant, for this interconnect or water line between the City of McAllen water treatment plant and our boundaries on the east side. So it's a project that we'll be willing to seek out. If there's funding available through grants, then we can start negotiations with the City of McAllen. So basically, it's just for the board to give us authorizations, me as a general manager and Sam as the engineer, to go ahead and seek for this grant opportunity.
Okay, that's simple.
That's, I know everything is good, but is it realistic, you know, to get a grant for $3 million when we know they're 4 miles away coming through all this, where's Sam's? Here? Coming through all the hectic and all the, we know how expensive it is to put a line, you know, I mean, from 5,000 feet here, 600,000. And now, this $3 million, what's the total cost of this? Because I wish we can put a line all the way to Peñitas, you know.
Yes, some of the conversations that I had with Mr. Mark Vega is that the City of McAllen, and this is a probability, they'll be meeting us halfway, meaning that the total cost of the project, it's in the vicinity of $6 million. So that's why Sam's found this opportunity, so we're seeking to apply for $3 million, and the City of McAllen will meet us halfway to the connection.
What's gonna be the cost of the water? They're not gonna give the water for free.
No,
So what's the cost and all that, you know, it's just, we don't wanna get a grant for $3 million and then it's gonna go just in engineering fees, not the contract to do that line. And we don't have the money to do that.
Initial discussions, and another one where you might, our initial discussions with them is that we don't have a set cost of the water, but it is less expensive than creating or treating our own water at this time. Then an additional water plant to come up with the gallons that we need, they have a surplus right now to be less expensive.
Yeah. Remember, the water, we don't need it on the east side, we need it on the west. So, if you're gonna say, I got a line, it's like Mission, we can go through Mission right now because we have an interconnect through Mission.
Yes.
You know, so now we're gonna have another interconnect further up, and
Yeah.
I'm just,
So
I'm just thinking out loud
So
here.
part of the project and the discussions we have with Sam that we will need a storage facility, a tank, maybe a 1 MGD,
Yeah,
or
about $1
2
million,
MGD, and have
$700,000.
high service pumps as well.
Yeah, and I know McAllen is doing their own brackish water, they wanna sell water, you know,
Yes.
because they're already, you know, so we don't wanna create, because we're gonna be, if we don't have our own brackage, that we hold back on doing our own brackage, plant, but they're doing one, you
Yes,
know,
that's
10
correct.
million gallons a day, so they gotta sell water, so when Mission is not buying from them, Cherry Lane is not buying from them, and I think, well,
So what we looked at is the need that we have, the time that we have, and the cost to be able to get our own water sufficient for the growth that we looked at. North Water Treatment Plan, all the different ones, all of them are gonna take a number of years, and this would be fast and allow you to continue the development. So it's really what we looked at was the possibility and the cost, and the fact that they have a surplus.
you know, it should not be easier coming all, through Expressway 83, coming directly all the way to Peñitas and then north.
We saw a few different options, so we laid out a few different options and looked at the most cost-effective one and the most effective area to connect to. So again, the no-pressure areas are in the north,
Right.
west area, and so it provides a fast connection to that point while allowing you to distribute water to the other areas.
Yeah, because on 107, I think we have more pressure than Cherryland did. That's why we didn't do that interconnect, because they were, you know. So now we're gonna put another big pump coming from McAllen. How's the pressure gonna be? We're gonna have more pressure than them, was gonna have, you know.
So it should have sufficient pressure to it. So the idea here is the availability of water. So with Charlotte and Mission, it's an interconnect for emergency purposes, but the overall volume available and the cost of that water.
Yeah. And just the thing, that McAllen wants to give us $3 million too, you know, that's, McAllen is not known to be very,
It's a good deal.
McAllen is, yeah, of course, because they're gonna have the water, they need somebody to sell it to.
Yeah, it's a business decision anyway on their end.
Yeah.
But for us, it's based on the grant, so conditional on the grant. I mean, if it's, if the
Yeah, but
grant,
once we have the grant, how much is water gonna be? How much is it gonna
Yeah,
sell
condition
this?
to obtaining the grant, I mean,
I mean, it's premature yet.
Process and I mean, yes.
It's premature yet, I guess,
Yes.
but based on the grant, based on the amount of money, grants, things like that, I guess.
Yeah, and stuff to do with the whole negotiation and everything else, so.
And we'll be having a committee meeting with the city of McAllen. Two of their board members have accepted and of course the general manager to meet with the committee from
Sure.
AGUA Special Utility District. So we're gonna be setting up a date here shortly with Mark.
Yeah. But how can we get the water all the way to Peñitas and 3 Mile Line and Jarachinas and, North 107 and Tamgil? That's where we need the water, 6 Mile Line and, we
Yes,
need the water.
and-
We got two
Pushing
connections.
west from what we-
And then that's something based on the short term plan that SAMS is also working on. How can we push our water volume northwest?
But we need
That's
to have
the-
just a distribution line directly,
So we're
direct
looking
with
at
no
pressure.
connections.
Yes, sir. And that's what we were looking at, speaking of earlier, in that short-term water plan was those connections that allow for pressure, right?
Yeah.
The interconnection, or the connections that allow us to extend that.
Sure.
So it'd be pushing that water on.
Yeah, it was like Tamgil was supposed to be a direct line from 2 Mile Line all the way to 107, and then everybody connected to that line. That's why we have the shortage. So how can we avoid not tapping to that line?
Creating the right connection.
There are no connections.
Creating the right connection really to allow for that flow of water. The issue that we don't have anything on the west side to be able to bring that water in.
Yeah.
As to the connection, let's say we applied and got approval for the grant at the full amount, asking where that would pay for, let's say our half of that line. No one will be connecting to that line because it would be operating as a transmission line, and it's located outside of our service area, so we wouldn't be able to allow anyone to connect to it anyway, because we can't service, we're basically, we'd be building a transmission line through, other CCNs so that we can get that water line, but there's not a risk, unlike the one transmission line that everyone connected to, that's all within our service area. This is a transmission line from McAllen into our service area, so no one's gonna be connecting to that, because we wouldn't be able to permit them to do so anyway.
Okay. But it is what it is, a transmission line, that's what it is. It's just a transmission line.
Was it used, Tamgil was a transmission line when they started, and now we get it.
But when did that happen? When did that happen?
It happened, they did a distribution line from,
Yeah, but when did he tap into it?
because everybody tapped into it.
Well, they shouldn't have never allowed it.
Yeah. They did.
Okay.
Well, we learned from the mistake and we won't allow anybody to tap into that line.
Yeah.
Well, you can anyway.
You can't, anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
We legally would not,
Yeah.
we can't allow anyone to tap into the line because it's not in our CCN. So no one would be, no customers would be connecting to it.
Yeah, and we need to see with McAllen. I mean, I know they want to help us. I really appreciate their helping us, but whenever they want to help somebody, McAllen stands on its own. It doesn't need help with nobody. So I'm just,
I agree. I mean, it's just a
so
matter.
you just need to be careful when they're giving you something, especially on the price. How much they're going to be selling the water to our. Maybe
but if we get the funding through a grant, we really don't owe anybody money if we don't see the price that is good for our, customers. We just don't buy water.
I don't know.
But
I
we
mean,
do
the
have
line
it.
is going to be it's going to be in a right away or on the private.
This could be right away.
On right away. That's another
But
thing.
if
is
we don't
the
want
fees.
if we don't have the need for the water, we don't have to buy that water because it's paid by a grant, right?
Yeah, so correct, right now, this is just, number one, can we pursue a grant? Number two, if the grant is there, then you still have to negotiate and say, okay, yes, we'll move forward with this, but what is your cost of water?
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
They're gonna expand 6 Mile Line. If it's gonna be on the right of way, who's gonna be paying for the expansions later on?
It'll have to be either in the right of way, at the ultimate right of way, or in an easement outside.
Yeah. And we need to see all of that. Who's gonna be paying in case the 6 Mile Line is gonna extended? And they will, because McAllen is growing.
Because they're providing water to Alton already, right? Or Palmhurst or Sherryland, or they're already providing water.
No, they provide the sewer only,
The sewer.
and the sewer, the water sharing.
They have several interconnects. I think what they have with City of Edinburgh, with City of Hidalgo, if I'm not mistaken, City of FAR,
Really?
and City of Mission on an emergency basis. And
I mean, we
I'm
could
not sure
have it
what
as
the
an emergency
city with Sherland. I'm not sure
Or
what
just-
Sherland they have it.
For the grant.
Grant. Sí, sí, pero si es, o sea, si no hay de dónde, o sea, que we don't have, it's not coming out of our budget.
But it's gonna be a
And
challenge.
it's not gonna affect us in any way.
Yeah, but once we commit, I think we're gonna have to buy water from them. We're
No.
not gonna put the line just because they want to.
I think at the point where you decide to move forward with everything,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna enter into a contract that says I'm buying
Sure.
X amount of
They're not
water.
gonna waste $3 million to.
But if we get the grant funding, it's up by them.
You know, it's
That's
not
for-
like that, I mean, but this is probably one of 20 steps, so we're step
Yeah.
2 maybe, right?
But if they put $3 million, like Mr. De Oyo says, okay, we don't want water today, we're full.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
probably
that-
gonna take and pay like you have with
Yeah.
irrigation districts and everything.
They're gonna, hey, you're gonna have to buy me water because I already committed, I will give you money.
Pero, but when that, problem arises down the road, pues we can always
No vamos a estar
negotiate.
aquí.
So we'll find out.
Well, they have water. Only
We'll
water
find out.
guy. Only water guy.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Pettis.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Question, who's gonna do the application?
We're gonna work with
Okay.
Robert here to put it together.
So you're gonna submit the application?
Yes,
And is it TCQ or was it?
no, EDC,
Oh,
or
EDC.
EDA, sorry.
Idiot.
Yeah, so the idea is
Economic
it
dis-
helps commercial development by bringing in the water necessary.
The economic distressed area, right? That's what it is, EDA?
Not necessarily distressed area, it's really just for economic growth,
Okay.
industrial parks and places like that.
Okay, so, anything else? Okay, I had a motion by Mr. Jerry Pettis. Second.
Second.
A second by Mr. Hoyles. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, item number 23, discussion and possible action to authorize general manager to purchase selected vehicles through buy board co-op and or to solicit competitive bids for the purchase of selected vehicles.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, members of the board. So, we went and go ahead and obtain, well, okay, so let me go back. Through the budget process, the board, allow us to go ahead and purchase a certain amount of vehicles and equipment as well, for this year. However, as mentioned on the budget process, the first payment, if we're gonna go through a leasing process, the first payment, and of course with the the option to purchase the vehicles and equipment after 5 years for $1, which is basically, it's a loan, right, in itself, to start the payment next year. So, right now, we're going through the process of obtaining, bids for the vehicles and equipment, and we went through buy board, through Rockdale Country, Ford. We have a total of four Rangers that we want to purchase, 2 F-150s and 3 F-350s. So based on the summary, there's a summary Excel matrix on the attachment under item 23. And based on this, we were looking at different costs. So we did a comparison, and of course Albert here assisted me in obtaining all these quotes. And if we look at the actual cost summary, and also we also did for Toyota Tacomas as well to see the differences in cost. So on the first columns, on the first row, we have buy board. So if you look at the total amount, for example, a two-wheel drive Ford Ranger, the total is $139,000, and that's through buy board. That's the cost through buy board. And through a local dealership, we obtain a quote for the same vehicle, 2025 Ford Ranger, two-wheel drive, $125,475, meaning that it is more expensive on this vehicle if we go through buy board which obviously, I mean, we always think that buy board it's less of a cost because they usually offer discounts. But in this case, the 2025 Ford Ranger was at a lesser cost than going through buy board. Same for a four-wheel drive 2025 Ford Ranger. We want to look at the options. And for an F-150 for two trucks, we're looking at $82,243 with a local dealership, and through buy board at $96,000. And as far as the Ford F-350s, 4x4s, we're also looking for three through the local dealership. We're looking at $191,687 with 25 cents, and through buy board at $203,592. And also, just to mention to the board, we looked at Toyota Ford to look at the different vehicles. So for a two-wheel drive Toyota Tacoma, we're looking at four of them, four vehicles, we're looking at $145,672. And for a four-wheel drive Toyota Tacoma, we're looking at $156,996, and that's for four. So right now the item, it's either at the direction of the board, either to go and solicit for competitive bids or purchase the vehicles via buy board. We can do either or. And also the vehicle make, right? If we want to go through Ford, through Toyota, I know there's differences in buyback cost as well.
How long do we keep them, Robert, this vehicle?
It all depends, 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah. And the resale that we get, I mean, that's very important. Whenever, say for 100,000 miles, how many do you put? I mean, how many miles do you put in a vehicle like this? It never stops every day.
No, it's maybe 180,000, 200,000 miles, depending on the usage.
So do they have to be Fords? Can't be Chevrolets or Dodge or?
It can be.
Because these are all Fords.
Three vendors.
Fords and Toyota.
Yeah, but as far as your 350s, your 250s, your 150s, your four-wheel drives, it looks like they're all only Fords.
They're Fords, yes, that's what we're looking at. We can look at Chevys and also Dodge and see what the price is.
Yeah,
Is there a purpose?
basically
It's gonna be a
that
lot
was
more than
the approval through the budget we had all Ford. That's why we went to
See.
Yeah, so it's
we
Fords.
went through Ford. But at the moment we solicit for bids, and let's say we solicit for bids for a certain vehicle, we're gonna, if we look at it's not gonna be the same if we look at different brands, right? Because the Dodge, it will not be equal to the I think we cannot purchase this on an as equal basis. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jeremy, but I know that we talked about this to see if we can go out for bids and we can mention a certain vehicle or equal as that vehicle. So the Dodge or the Chevrolet might not be the same as a Ford on the, let's say for example, on the chassis or on the transmission or on the motor. So it will not be equally
If you're looking for a
apples
350,
to apples.
if you're looking for a 350, you'll find a 350 with Ford, Chevrolet, or Dodge. All right.
You're absolutely right. You're really wanting for a solicitation, you want to be able to compare apples to apples on what's bidding. So our recommendation would be to, select the specific, the specific make and model and trim that's needed for the job, and then you just solicit for that type and get the competitive bids for that type. And so I know that Albert has, for example, for these quotes from the buy board, and then to compare with the local dealership, he's looking at a specific make, model, and trim, right? Because that's, trim, right, will significantly, even within the same make and model, dramatically affect the price of the vehicle. And so to compare apples to apples, we recommend selecting, year, make, model, trim, and then, we'll base the solicitation for competitive bids off of that.
We had already allotted for this in the budget?
Yes,
Yeah.
well, it was agreed upon the budget that we had in December of 2024, that we were gonna present the list that we presented at the budget meeting, more or less at the middle of the year, in order for us to have the vehicles towards the end of the year or early next year, and we start making payments next year. If this is approved, the number that was pre-approved, which is 670,000 plus or minus, will be presented at this incoming budget in December 2025, so that it can be embedded into the actual number
But
model
for this
the
amount,
budget
for this
next
amount
year.
of vehicles.
For that amount of
Salinas,
vehicles.
and what do you recommend, guys? I mean, we're here.
I mean,
Which one you want out of-
my
let's
question,
go.
my question basically was the same as Mr. Jerry Perez.
Let's go.
We can solicit for bids
Okay.
and have it as an or equal, but then it's not gonna be
not gonna
apples
be
to
the
apples.
same.
So
You guys
but
review-
what Jerry is saying is to choose a make,
If you're
and
looking for a
trim, and
if you're looking for a 350 engine truck, 350 whatever it calls in for a Cummins engines, Ford or Chevrolet or Dodge has it, and which is cheaper. You know, I don't know. I'm just. Does it have to be Ford? That's what I'm saying. Has to be Ford. Does it have to be Toyota Tacoma? I mean,
You've been a lot.
I'm not in favor of I'm not in favor of any type of vehicle. Just a matter which one is best for your daughter. That's it.
The vehicle, do you have right now, you have any problem with them?
No.
Okay.
It's part of wear and tear.
Yeah.
Don't have any issue.
Your recommendation to us, y vámonos.
Yep.
I recommend Ford, I mean, in my
Okay.
opinion, my experience, but, like Mr. Salinas says, we solicit for bids, or we go directly to buy board based on the comparison.
But my board is a little higher.
The
And
market
that-
is way higher.
That's interesting. Why buy board very more expensive?
Yeah, so it's just depends on which direction the board would want to
Like,
give.
yeah, like a Toyota.
Let's
you
go for
should-
bids, right?
Just get your best vehicle, the cheapest vehicle.
They don't have full-size vehicles, all
They don't
interiors.
have, nomás, la Tacoma nomás para que anden para donde quiera.
They don't have, what
Pero resale value vale más que nuevas.
Yeah. Eso sí, ya hace retained value mucho.
Well,
Well,
that's what we do.
We'll get the Tundras.
Okay.
Okay, so, do
There's
we,
a motion, okay, there's a motion to.
do we motion to do like the solicit or
Motion to solicit.
Yeah.
Antes por dealers aquí en el Valle.
to solicit?
we can
So don't be
solicit,
shy.
we can
Yeah.
solicit for bids.
Nos vamos
for
en
the
summer,
purchase of
Desde
selected
Brownsville hasta Laredo.
vehicles. The Ford Rangers,
Buscar lo más barato.
F-150s and the F-350s.
All right.
Okay, so,
Ford it is. Ford it is.
okay, so, do we have a motion?
I will. I so will.
So I have a motion by Mr. Jerry Perez, a second by Mr. De Hoyos,
What are we authorizing here?
to solicit
Solicit.
bids.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
You just have to come back, right?
Yeah.
yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 24, discussion and possible action to authorize general manager to purchase a dump truck through Buy Board Co-op.
Ford two.
It's a dump, yeah, a dump truck. So basically, we have two options. We have the
Where is that company from?
and the Peterbilt truck.
It's
On the Hino, Albert, we did receive the buy board
No,
quotation. That's one of my notes that I have here in my note.
I spoke to the vendor today, they're pending in their corporate office to send it, since the local dealership can't approve a buy board, they have to send it to the corporate office, so they're looking into it, they're just waiting as soon as they get the buy board discounts, they'll submit it to us. So this quote is based on the regular price.
Regular. So we're looking at having discounts from the possibility of having discounts if we go through the buy board.
The buy board, and they do carry the buy board, that's what we wanted to make sure to clarify with them.
so when you say dump truck, was it a 3-yarder or how?
7 yard.
7
Semi-yarder, it's a small truck, dump truck.
So could we do the same thing that we did with the other one?
The
Can we
motors
have,
are the same, the motors?
Yes.
The same, the two brands right here?
Mr. Salinas, can we solicit?
Peterbilt, they're the same size.
We can solicit for bids on this item, Albert. I wouldn't see why not, right?
Yes.
The only thing will be which model and make to choose from.
Yeah, but it's gotta be either Peterbilt, Mack, or Kenworth, or those other brands.
It's a brand new.
You know, yeah, it's out of Brown, out of Spartan.
Los mecánicos tienen que.
Yeah.
Both trucks are under the same dealership, no?
Yeah.
Both the Hino, the Peterbilt, they're on
The Hino,
Same dealership.
the Hino seems to be more, less expensive. It's the same volume that can carry.
Yes.
What year is the one that we have right now?
It's a Hino dump truck. Hino, the same brand. we've had it since 2006.
¿Y cómo jala?
It's been working out, I mean, it's just a good vehicle, I mean, it's wear and tear maintenance, nothing to the engine is still good.
Really?
That's almost 20 years.
PTO or just any little things that around.
We'll take more to fix it.
Yeah, but the engine, we had no problems, transmission, everything's good. But the Hino has worked out since then.
So I guess in my opinion or recommendation, since we're not gonna be receiving, or we're gonna go out for bids for the other items, I think it's worth to take a look at the buy board pricing based on what we receive, right now, of the basic cost. If I can bring it back to the board on the next meeting, and if we see a reduction from the 129,000 or savings worthwhile going through buy board, then I mean, we can, if the board gives us direction, we can go through the buy board for this equipment.
Good.
Let's do that.
Okay, sir. You have a motion?
So no action.
No action.
No action on? Perfect. Okay.
So number 24, no action, right?
No. No action. Okay, item number 25, discussion and possible action to authorize general manager to execute an interlocal agreement with Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program and to purchase a telehandler through Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program.
Yes, again, through the budget process, we did present this equipment, and the telehandler, we have been using rented telehandler for the past, since I've been here, probably 4 years or 3 years, for 3 years, and it's expensive to be renting a telehandler. So as I presented it to the board, we would like to purchase one via Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program. The reason we have a participation agreement before you is because we're not part of the purchasing co-op that they have. So we would like to be part of that. As part of the agenda item, we would like to participate in the agreement with Sourcewell Cooperative in order for us to purchase the telehandler at a discount price. So we're looking, Albert, to purchase through Doggett, Albert?
Doggett.
It's through Doggett.
But it's the same 6,000 pounds, no one the capacity? The same?
It's different brand, but it's fast.
And it's called telehandler?
Yeah. Does it come with attachments or no?
Just,
that's all you need?
that's all we need, basically, for unloading and loading.
How much have we been paying to rent them out?
2,000?
2,000 a month?
28.
$2,080.
$2,080 per month.
Per month, pues es el pago.
As a pago.
So move.
Okay. I have a motion by Mr. Rick Perez,
Second.
second by Mr. De Hoyos. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 26, discussion and possible action on approval of resolution of the governing body of AGUA Special Utility District authorizing the execution and delivery of a schedule to the master equipment lease purchase agreement for the acquisition, financing, and leasing of certain equipment for the public benefit within the terms herein provided, authorizing the execution and delivery of other documents required in connection therewith, and authorizing all other actions necessary to the consummation of the transactions contemplated by this resolution.
Yes, Mr. President, members of the board, we, in the past, we have gone through Government Capital Corporation, and basically this is to bundle all the equipment and vehicles into one, per se, loan, like a lease to purchase, and the interest rate that they're giving us for this I'm gonna call it project or purchase, it's of 5.97, and that's for 600. Well, we approximate $670,000 for this purchase to include all vehicles.
There's a credit, but we don't need to go up to 680, right? We can get it cheaper, we get it cheaper.
If we get it cheaper, we get it cheaper, yes. And attached is the actual financing proposal that we had presented back through the budget meeting. So we're looking at 670. It probably will be less, Albert, based on the cost that the bids that Albert has been receiving.
Are they gonna sustain the interest?
to,
Maybe Rich comes over.
yes, we will have to reapply, but, in this case, if the board, will give me the authorization not to exceed a certain amount and go through, government capital, and of course, the percentage hopefully will go down, Mr. Perez, I don't know if you have seen different,
Probably.
So this is a resolution to put everything in the, to bundle everything.
bundle everything into one loan.
I so move.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Jerry Pettis, a second by Mr. Rick Pettis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 27, as provided by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Sections 551.071-551.091, the Board of Directors may convene in a closed executive session to deliberate, discuss, or consult regarding the matters listed below on the proper motion and approval of any items set forth above. Under the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney. A, system capacity. B, City of La Jolla application for CCN. C, Senate Bill 1933. D, interconnects with neighboring systems. I need a motion.
I so move.
I have a motion by Mr. Jerry Perez,
Second.
second by Dr. Adriana Villarreal. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. We're going into executive at 7:51. Yeah.